Hi everyone, welcome to our two-step inequality practice. Sorry I was not able to be with you in class today, but hopefully this can make up for that. So how this is going to work is we have 5 questions here. Okay, and then the spot down here in the bottom right is for us to graph each of the inequalities. So kind of how I'd like this to work is I would like you to pause the video after each question, try it yourself, then unpause it and see if you got the answer correct. And if you didn't, just fix whatever mistakes you made in the problem and make sure you have the correct work down as well. Okay, so again, before I go over number 1, pause the video, do it yourself. When you have your answer, unpause it, check your answer. If everything's correct, move on to number 2, pause the video, solve number 2, unpause it, check your work. Please don't do all 5 at once. Just go one at a time to make sure you're doing them correct as we go. Okay, so for number 1, you go ahead and pause the video, try it yourself, and when you're ready, unpause it, check your work. So for number 1, it's a two-step inequality, so all of these problems are just like solving two-step equations, except instead of an equal sign, we have an inequality sign. So my first step is going to be subtracting 4 from both sides. Subtracting 4 will cancel my plus 4 on the left side. It will leave me with 2x is greater than or equal to 20. I can't leave it as a 2x. Remember, 2x is like 2 times x. So I undo that with division. And I get x is greater than or equal to 10. So when I come down here to graph it, here we're going to need to make our number line. My boundary point is positive 10, so I'm just going to put 10 somewhere on my number line, then fill it out from there. 13, 9, 8, 7. I know it is greater than or equal to 10, so I used a closed circle at 10. And draw an arrow or shade in to the right. So hopefully you got that correct. So moving on to number 2. Again, pause the video, try number 2. When you're ready, unpause it, check your work. So for number 2, we have 4 is less than 1 plus n divided by 7. The first thing we need to get rid of is this positive 1. To get rid of positive 1, we subtract 1 from both sides. 4 minus 1 becomes 3. Bring the less than sign down. 1 minus 1 cancels, and I'm left with n over 7. From here, you need to remember that a fraction bar is the same as division, so this is n divided by 7. The inverse operation division is multiplication, so we multiply by 7, and we get 21 is less than n. That's our answer. We can leave it like this if we want, where it's 21 less than n. There's absolutely no issues with this. If you want to, you could rewrite it as n is greater than 21. Right? Both things are the same. If you just pick a random number for n, like let's say n is 25, is 21 less than 25? Yep, that's true. Okay, is 25 greater than 21? Yes, that's true. Both of these are the same. If you rewrite it, you need to remember to flip the inequality sign. So for number 2, when I graph it, I know my boundary point is 21, so I'm going to put 21 right here. Fill out my number line. My boundary point is at 21, and it is greater than, so I'm going to use a open circle at 21. I'm going to shade everything greater than 21. So everything to the right. Doesn't matter if you want to shade your graph, if you want to draw the arrow, either of these are acceptable. Alright, hopefully you got number 2 right. Moving on to number 3, go ahead, pause the video, try it yourself, check your work afterwards. Alright, for number 3 we have negative 11x. Immediately that should throw up some red flags to you, negative 11x. Minus 4 is greater than negative 15. going to start by adding 4 to both sides of the inequality. That will leave me with negative 11x. That goes away, is greater than negative 11. Since I have negative 11x, or negative 11 times x, I'm going to undo that by dividing by negative 11. Hopefully you remember that whenever you divide or multiply by a negative, something weird happens, and that you have to flip the sign. Since it was a greater than, our final answer is going to have a less than sign because we divided by a negative. So we know x is going to be less than positive 1. Come down to graph number 3. Fill in my number line. My boundary point is a positive 1, and it's a less than sign, so I need an open circle at positive 1. Graphing or shading to the left. It's everything less than 1. Alright. Number 4, you actually have 2 options to go about solving number 4. One option is that you could do distributive property, if you would like. Okay, you would get 16 plus negative 4x is greater than 56. Absolutely, that method would work. You will get the same answer. So if you did that method, fantastic. The other option is to recognize that this is negative 4 times the quantity negative 4 plus x. So we could actually undo this whole thing by dividing by negative 4 to start. That's going to be the method that I choose to do, divide by negative 4. The reason we do that is it will make this negative 4 go away and this negative 4 go away. That way I'm left with negative 4 plus x is less than, we have to flip the sign because we divided by negative 4. Right? Anytime you divide or multiply by a negative, you need to flip it. 56 divided by negative 4 is negative 14. I believe that's correct. Hopefully I didn't make a mistake there. And then we need to solve for x. Negative 4 plus x. Undo negative 4 by adding 4. So this becomes x is less than negative 10. So when we graph it, the boundary point is negative 10. Whoops. So when I graph it, we have an open circle at negative 10. With our arrow going to the left. Awesome. Hopefully you've done well so far. Moving on to the last one. Again, you should pause the video and try it yourself. So for number 5, our first step is that because it's m minus 3 and the whole thing as a part of my fraction, I need to get rid of the fraction first. To do that, I'm going to multiply both sides by 2. That will make this go away and this go away. It will leave me with m minus 3. It's less than or equal to positive 10. And then going to add 3 to both sides. Get m is less than or equal to 13. Fill out the number line. Now it's less than or equal to, so I need a closed circle at 13. The graph is going to the left. Hopefully you did well with this practice. Now that you are done with this, the next activity I believe is the color by number activity that you can work on. If you need help, refer back to this sheet or refer back to this video. You should be good to go. Hopefully you did well. Good luck, guys.